Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome all of you the online satsang of the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. So we are continuing the study guide on 9 gems, which are the 9 beautiful letters written by Swami to the students, teachers, devotees, and spiritual seekers to guide us in the spiritual path. That's why we call them 9 gems. So it is interesting this year for the Guru Poornima, the theme we have chosen is also Navaveda Bhakti, 9 modes of worship or 9 forms of worship. Hope all of you have studied that. So this is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. We'll have a quiz next time, so just you have to repeat. Actually, Swami sings beautifully, melodious way. It is available, starting with Shravanam, Kirtanam. So these are the 9 modes of worship and how they will keep us in tune with God. So that is the theme. So just stay tuned. We are going to have that program for July 24th, Guru Poornima. So we will have 2 programs. One is on 23rd at 6 p.m., which will be for the convenience of zones in the east, like Malaysia, zones 3, 4, and 5, Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand. And then on 24th, Guru Poornima morning itself, we have the program at 8 a.m., right? So 8 a.m. for all the rest of the zones like Latin America, North America, Europe, and other zones. So, but for us, West Coast, we can go for both things because it is convenient. Even 23rd evening is at 6 p.m., which is convenient, and 24th morning, 8 a.m. So I want to alert you that. And so that is about the 9 types of devotion. Now we finished 5 letters for Swami. We are starting the 6th letter today. So we are going to do the 4 because next Thursday on 22nd, we'll have a special program for Guru Poornima, right? That is what the officers have decided. So we'll have the guest speaker and special bhajans and all that. So next Thursday will be celebrations of Guru Poornima. So we'll be finishing these 9 gems today. So we did 5. We do the rest of the 4 letters of Swami. They're very concentrated, but they're very small letters. So we'll try to get the gist of it. So we already did. And even those 5 letters we finished before. So please go back because these are something not one-time reading. These are for not only listening, but contemplating and then practicing. Very, very profound message. So today we'll be doing the letters 6. And please go ahead, Anupa.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, we are on page 15 of the online PDF, letter 6. Assert your Godhead. Dear Nanjundaya, accept my blessings. The best method of spreading Vedanta philosophy is to live it. There is no other royal road. Live in God, all is right. Make others live in God, all shall be well. Believe this truth, you will be saved. In the lowest worm, as well as in the highest human being, the same divine nature is present. The worm is the lowest form in which the divinity has been moreover shadowed by Maya. That human being is the highest form in which it has been least overshadowed. Behind everything, the same divinity is existing, and out of this comes the basis of morality. Assert your Godhead. Fling into utter oblivion. The little bubble bursts. It finds itself the whole ocean. You are the whole, the infinite, the all. You are divinity itself, the holy of holies. The world is no world. You are the all in all, the supreme power which no words can describe, nobody or mind. You are the pure I am, that you are. Heaven is within you. Seek happiness not in the object of senses. Realize that happiness is within yourself. With blessings, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, 24th April 1974. So here Swami, in a small letter, is giving us the essence of Vedanta. This is the highest of the highest truth. This is what we seek. But he is making it simple, and is pointing some things out which are deluding us. This Maya that he refers to deludes not only the worm, but the human being as well, and we are all subject to it. But if we throw this aside, and that is what he is asking us to do, then we'll be one with the all. And this I am, Aham Brahmasmi, is one of the 4 Mahavakyas of the Upanishads. And he is making it straightforward and simple, that it is within us, not outside. And this is why Swami used to say that our spiritual journey or spiritual sadhana, 3/4 of it is self-inquiry. Inquire within yourself, and happiness is within us. But we are all deluded by Maya. So he's giving us a quick summary of what we need to do in order to become happy. And as we know, happiness is union with God. Sairam.
So here, because we all know Swami's teachings. Swami's teachings is nothing but essentially Vedanta. So Vedanta, for people who are not aware, what is Vedanta? Veda Anta. End of Vedas is Vedanta. All the Upanishads are Vedanta, which talk about the knowledge of the self, which emphasize the self-realization. In the Vedas, there are various sections. Karma Kanda, which talks about the various ritualistic sacrifices, yajnas, yagas, kratus. Then there is Upasana Kanda, where you worship the Lord as separate from you, with the hymns, like in various samhitas, and all those are there. Then comes the end of Vedas, which is Upanishads, where they talk about the highest philosophy, where there is, from where all those 4 Mahavakyas come. That is Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma. These things came from the Upanishads. So it's saying that essentially all of them say we are the embodiments of divinity. That is what. But this, whatever you may say, that is why Swami says your teachings, even Lord Jesus said, what is the point calling Lord, Lord, you don't practice what I preach. So he says, if you want to spread my teaching, the best way is to live it. That means every day our life should be example. So right now it's thought, word, and deed. Recently I'm encountering some senior devotees, some people, so we not sticking to the truth. That is why you may be devotee for 30 years, 40 years, it doesn't matter. Basic thing is what you think and what you say, what you do, there should be harmony. If there is not, then you are not really spreading the message of Swami. So however much otherwise become Swami says platform heroes, practical zeros. So the best way is to live the life. That is why this great Ramana Maharshi was never talking so much, Nisargadatta Maharaj, but just being around them, you can feel that the light of love and knowledge. So that is the way living. And second thing is this, Swami says everything is divine, including a insect, a plant, the mountains, human, everything. There is nothing but divinity. But the manifestation of divinity changes because of the covering. That is why it is covered. Even human beings, you can see different people, like people who are very involved in terrible acts. You can see, my God, we feel that they're human beings, or they are demons, or animals, even though they are in human form. That is why if you read Bhagavad Gita, Daivaswara Sampad Vibhaga Yogam, who is demon, who is the God, it clearly says, demon, we think it is a dark arm, the big hairs, a big teeth. That is what the movies represent. It is no, you could be most handsome guy, but the behavior you have, like Ravana, except one of the handsome guys and well-versed in scriptures, but his behavior is the one which makes you whether you are demonic or not. So they are not manifesting the divinity. There is the same thing with great saints like Tukaram, Jnaneshwar, or all these Ramana Maharshi. They manifest the divinity because theirs is not covered. So why? Because the Maya covers. We all are covered with Maya, every one of us. So there are three layers. What are the three layers? One is the first layer, tamasic layer. It's like a dark. Tamasic, you can keep like you have dark clothes. You can't even see light. Think your light is covered with a dark cloth. You can't see the light. Next is we are covered with Rajasic. Then think it is like a red cloth. Rajasic is red. You are very active, ambitious. You can see part of it, but not fully. Then Sattvic, it is like a white cloth you are covering. So then you can see almost it is there. But finally, you should have no covering at all. That is Trigunatita, beyond the three gunas, then you are directly in touch with that reality. Because that is Maya. What is Maya is nothing but these three covers. Actually, Lord Krishna says, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. What is my Maya? It is Daivi Hesha. It came from me. Very different. Duratya means you can't cause it. What is it? Gunamayi. It is composed of these three gunas. So these three gunas we need to transcend. All the spiritual practices is to do that. You can't fight it. That is why beautifully it is said, we had Sri Ramakrishna had two disciples, like this Maya is like a net, we are all caught up in that. That is why we struggle. Either you assert your Godhead, say I am the Atman, expand so much you break up the net of Maya like Swami Vivekananda, or you become so humble like a little, kill your ego so little that nothing exists, you come out of the whole of this Maya net. So either way you can get out. One is the path of Dhyana. That means asserting I am Shivoham, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Then nothing binds you. You're not the body, mind, intellect. Or you become, Lord, I am nothing, Naham, Naham, Tuhu, I am nothing, you are everything. You are like path of a devotee who thinks, then also you can come out of the Mayan net. That is why these are the two mechanisms. So how you come out of the net of Maya. So this is Maya is for everybody, but you can come out of it with that. You cannot fight. You can, like beautiful example, even Swami said, like in a forest, Rama and Lakshmana and Sita were going. So Rama was going in the front. Next, behind Rama is Sita, and behind is Lakshmana. You can compare. Rama is Supreme Godhead. Sita, mother, is embodiment of Shakti, Maya, it is coming. Lakshmana, you can compare to ourselves, embodied Jiva. So he cannot see Rama because mother is blocking his view. So he can say, Sita, get out of my way, I want to see Rama. He cannot do that because Sita is part of Rama. She belongs to Sita Rama. So the nicely should be so pleasing to the thing. Mother, can you get out the Maya? You should get that out. Then you can see Rama. Similarly, Maya, you can't fight. Just by your devotion, you get rid of the Maya. Or by your asserting the Jnana, you can get rid of the Maya. So that is important thing. Then once you assert that, then he says, then you say you will experience the heaven. Heaven is where? Within us. He says you don't need to, because I always say, Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Says as if heaven is somewhere else. Swami says beautifully, Tana santoshame, tana swargamu, tana dukkhame narakamandu. Your own joy is heaven and your own misery is hell. There is nothing, you don't need to go, even you can experience that in this very lifetime. So if you are always happy, that means you are living in heaven. So you are miserable, that you are in hell. So this heaven is within you once you get rid of the Maya and you are in tune with the God and you live the teachings, living in God and make others live in God. That means by example. Okay, good. Next letter.
Next is letter 7. The whole universe is a mere dream. My dears, a time will come when the whole of this dream will vanish. To every one of us, there must come a time when the whole universe will be found to have been a mere dream, when we shall find that the soul is infinitely better than its surroundings. In this struggle through what we call environments, there will come a time when we shall find that these environments were almost zero in comparison with the power of the soul. It is only a question of time, and time is nothing in the infinite. It is a drop in the ocean. We can afford to wait and be calm. With blessings, Baba. So this is a short but very powerful letter in which Swami is reminding us of a fundamental fact which he said in a number of discourses, that everything in this universe, from the smallest of the smallest creature, inanimate object, man, everybody, must merge into the Godhead. We came from Brahman, we return to Brahman, but that process may take hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, and maybe even beyond lifetimes as an inanimate object. But he says everything will return back to its source. And he's reminding us that when we go back to Brahman, when we realize ourselves and be liberated, that power, that bliss, that ananda, that consciousness is so much superior to what we see in this world. And I remember Shankaracharya saying that Dr. Reddy mentioned before in this context, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, which means that the only truth is God, and then the entire world is just an illusion. And so he's saying, be calm, do your spiritual practices, and try to merge into that one truth, Brahman. Sairam.
Sairam. Yeah, that is the beauty about the Vedanta. It assures you came from Brahman, you will go back to Brahman. So there is assurance. So everybody will be realizing God, including a little bacteria or insect or elephant, everything. Because it came from there, you have to go back. Where it came the source, you have to go back to the source. That is why compared to some of the other religious beliefs, Semitic religions, so once you die, you bad good, you are once for all, eternally you are in heaven or eternally you are in hell. That doesn't look fair. That means whereas Vedanta gives you a chance, hey, you can come back, but you will be repeating the cycle. They will be giving any number of chances. You will become. And some people, anyway will become God. Why should you wait? Why should we worry about? Let us have good time. So you may think, but you want to repeat this cycle and suffer, and because it is not fun, as you said. Lord Buddha said, and Lord Krishna says, Anityam Asukam. Two things we all know. We all today are gone. We are seeing so many people, particularly the COVID, even people in their 20s to 60s, anybody, anytime can go. So we are seeing very clear evidence how life is like a water bubble. And then so much pain, this is physical health, mental health, financial, lot of problems. So these are all everybody, whatever stage in life, whether you are a saint, sinner, scholar, ignoramus, rich or poor, everybody faces that. So the thing is how you face it. That is the important thing. That is why if you have this concept, hey, this is a dream, then you won't worry about, like, for example, in the night, So you just were dreaming, oh, you are a king, you have a kingdom, you have a nice thing. You are so happy. In the morning you got up and nothing. So do you cry, oh my God, what happened to my kingdom? So you won't cry, this is just a dream. And same thing in the night, in the dream, you said you lost everything, you lost your family or your properties, whatever it is, you are crying, you are weeping, and the morning you get up, hey, this is a dream. You won't keep crying. So you realize. So that is a night dream. The whole thing is, in the daytime, what the experience we have, it is also a daydream. We can't deny that, because that is what the Upanishads say. That is the classical story we talked about, Janaka. Idi nijama, adi nijama. What happened, the story, Janaka, when he was one time, suddenly he was there, and in the dream he had the same thing. He went into the forest along with his things on a hunting trip, and then he got lost, all these people are got, and then he became so hungry, and then he wanted to have some food, and then nobody was there, just he saw some food, and somebody was trying to give it to him, and meanwhile somebody that is taken away by a bird or by somebody else. Then he was miserable, screaming, oh my God, and he lost his kingdom, he lost his family, everything. And then suddenly he woke up. Then he says, oh, he went on saying, is this real or that real? Because he is a Brahmajnani. Is this real or that real? And they said that he went cuckoo. That everybody thought this king has a problem. He has got, suddenly what happened? Is this real? That's all he goes on. But Janaka is a great jnani. So they said, and everybody, they consulted the family members and the royal physician. Nobody can diagnose what happened to the king. Then the great sage comes, Ashtavakra. He says, then king, he listens. Is this real or that real? Is this real? He says, that is also unreal. This is also unreal. Only you are real. That means the Atma is real. Then he says, okay. Then he comes to that agrees, because that is the highest truth. And Swami repeatedly says, there is a beautiful formula. Life is challenge, meet it. And life is a game, play it. And life is a dream, realize it. And life is love, enjoy it and spread it. So that's why these are all like Swami's little formulas, which we should remember whenever anything comes. This will give the solution. So main thing is realize the dream, then we won't take it everything. This is a dream. So once we wake up, so for people, jnanis who are always in that light, for everything for them is a dream. That is why nothing bothers them. They say, oh yeah, this come, and that is also, both are a part of the dream. Okay, we'll go to the next one.
God is always with you. May 4th, 1980, or 5th April, 1988, Camp Brindavan. Dear Rajagopal, accept my love and blessing. How are you? Don't worry about your health. God is always with you, in you, around you. Be always happy. Bend the body, mend the senses, and the mind. This is the process of attaining immortality. Where there is faith, there is devotion. Where there is devotion, there is purity. Where there is purity, there is God. Where there is God, there is bliss. God is with you. You are God. Why worry? Raja, I'm sending a prasadam with your wife. She is very worried about your health. She is a very good woman. With blessings, Baba. Send this letter to a devotee. Swami is reminding him that he is God, and so therefore God is always with us. Swami says that I am in front of you, behind you, above you, to your side, inside you. But he's giving some advice here also. Bend the body, mend the senses, end the mind. So these are practical ways. Bend the body means service, mend the senses means sense control, and ending the mind is the ultimate thing. And the absence of mind denotes that you are merged with the highest supreme. So God is bliss, and he reminds us that union, the definition of bliss is union with God. Happiness is union with God. And regarding prasadam, he's again giving him some practical help for his health, and sending the blessings with him. This shows Swami's concern for devotees on a worldly level, as well as reminding them of the ultimate search for truth. Sairam.
So here, so say, what is our nature? Atma. It is immortal. We are eternal. But as you said, life is temporary and water bubble. But the real truth is we are eternal. That is the truth. So how to realize that is why we are immortal. That is why Swami says the only degree every person should get is this degree. What is that? Amrutasya putra. That is why famous the Upanishad says, Shrunvanti vishwe amrutasya putraha. You think you are the children of immortality. That means we are all immortal. So the other degrees are the worldly degrees, BA, MA, as I said, Swami says, BAD, bad, MAD, mad, and MBA, members of bad association. And somebody was telling recently something about damaged head, something HD, something. Yeah, head damage. So just so the different kind of degrees. So they put the head of the department is the one with the head damage. So like that different thing, but real thing is we are the children of immortality. And that, how do we get immortality? We are immortal, how? She said, we think of, oh, we have to do this. Swami made a very simple thing, that is also, remove immorality, you will become immortal. The whole thing which is blocking is, you are having the negative thoughts, negative words, and evil acts. So that is the one which is not making. So Swami, as he said, do good, do no evil, see good, see no evil, hear good, hear no evil, do good, do no evil. That is the way to God. So here, to attain immortality, removal of immorality. That is how we should use our body and senses and mind, because this is thought, word, and deed. How you put it in purity. That is why here also there's two messages here, very important. So one is how to attain immortality. Second, Swami says, if you want to attain bliss, he told the sequence, first you should have faith. That is why we always put Shraddha, Bhakti, Badavo. First you should have faith. Where there is faith, there is love. Because you love him, you have absolute faith in him, oh, he's taking care of me, then you'll have that love. When you have the love, then you will be, because you will be pure. That means you have purity in thought, word, and deed. So once you are pure, you will experience God. Because blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. This is what we hear. And Swami says, purity is enlightenment. Once we are pure, we are. So the whole process is to have purity. So once we are pure, we realize that we are God. Once there is God, God and bliss are same. This is the sequence. Faith, then you go to love. Faith will take you to love, then will make you to purity. And once you are purity, you will experience God, and God is bliss. So these two things, how to attain immortality, how to live in bliss. Okay, now this is the 9th letter, which is last one, but very, very, very powerful and very good. So I think everybody should almost like memorize this particular letter, and just our life will be redeemed.
So letter 9, take refuge in Sai. To Sri Sathya Sai Hostel, Vrindavanam, my beloved teachers and boys, accept my love and blessings. In this world of change, we meet with various vicissitudes of life, both pleasant and unpleasant. We are afflicted with diseases, both mental and physical. The body is stricken with disease and the mind filled with worries. In this state of our unhappiness, turmoil and misery, there is only one way, and that is to take refuge in Sai. Sai alone can remove these difficulties and diseases and bring us health, peace, and prosperity. He who has got Sai's name on his lips is a Jivan Mukta, self-realized, because continuous remembrance of Sai eliminates the ego sense and grants him the realization of his immortal, changeless self. Name is a link between the devotee and Sai. It brings the devotee face to face with Sai and enables him to attain the knowledge of his oneness with him, Sai. With love, your Sai, your own Sai, Sri Sathya Sai. So in this beautiful letter, Swami is giving us a way out of our daily miseries and our daily trials and tribulations. This is a fact that, as Dr. Reddy just said, Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus, Lord Krishna, everybody reminded us, this world is full of unhappiness. It's temporary and it is full of misery. So how does Sai remove these things? Because when we have Sai's name on our lips, we are coming closer and closer to him and we are surrendering to him. And Swami said, man minus ego equals God. So if this eliminates the ego, then we take one step closer to self-realization and become one with him. Another important fact, I think, is that we need to realize that Swami is within us and that our whole journey is to be one with him, to merge with him in this very lifetime. And so the name is one way to link ourselves with him. And by being with him and not going to others, we attain that oneness, which is equivalent to self-realization. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. So this is the important spiritual practice in all faiths, whether it is Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and even Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Hinduism. So everything is this power of mantra, power of the name. That is interestingly, it is also most of the time it is a two-lettered word. Sai, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Yesu, Allah. So just like God even making it easy so that you just repeat that two-letter word. There is a beautiful bhajan, this Anuj Jalata, Jagame de do akshar ke naam. Just there are two-letter word and it will be the panacea. So these are all other practices are good, but this is in this Kali age, because our mind is fickle. I can see, even as last time telling, just in a small meeting for 10 minutes, you can watch next time, even in your family, at work, that somebody will be looking at the phone, somebody will be looking some other place. That is why even after 3 minutes of discussion that will be done, I said, what did we say? They're not, because they will be thinking something else. That means your mind is so fickle, they can't be in the present. It's a very important test for spiritual seeker. Am I so much absorbed in the present moment? That is because that is omnipresence. This is the test how much you are progressing is. Be intense and be absorbed in the moment. Then we will be more productive, because it said in the scriptures, and Swami said it also, that in the age of this Satya Yuga, because we have cycle in the yugas, everything, the prescribed practice, spiritual practice is tapas, penance, Ladik, dhyana, meditation. The people used to know, you hear, they did tapas for 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Just they used to go on, and then even the ant hills around them, nothing bothered them. That is in the Satya Yuga. Then came Treta Yuga, time of Rama. That time people, the practices is to be done is yajnas and yagas. Like that, even Rama was born because of Putra Kameshti Yaga. And they used to do these Ashwamedha Yaga, a lot of yajnas and yagas. So that is why they were in touch with divinity. But now it is not practical. It takes a lot of involvement of resources and things. So it is not practical. Then came the age of Dwapara, Lord Krishna's time. Then the Archana, this worship of the Lord, various way you can do. But in this Kali age, one way it is, because the Dharma is said to be going on 4 legs in Kruta age, Treta 3 legs, and in Dwapara 2, now only 1. But even though the one, they say it is Kali age is very advantageous if you take advantage. Why? God made it very simple. Harer namaiva kevalam kalaur nastyeva gatirannida. In this Kali age, there is just a repetition of this name. Just you do that and then you will be redeemed, you will be sanctified, you will be liberated. That is why Tulsidas used to say the name, when you utter, like you put a little lamp at the door sill in the old days, lighted lamp, the oil lamp. So it will give the light inside the house a little bit and outside. Similarly, go on repeating the name, it will purify you inside and it will purify outside. That is the power of the name. That is why it is prescribed in this age you should have this name. And then Swami, even Sri Sathya, if you read here, says just repeat my name Sai, 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 because Sai, that means is the mother aspect of divine mother aspect, but also combination of Shiva and Shakti. So it is both. Sai is such a powerful name in this world. And there, the one thing also scripture says, name and form are not different. When you say the name, the form comes. When you think about the form, the name comes. So name and form are equal. That is the beauty. So whenever you think of Sai, then you think of the beautiful, unparalleled, and Upama Sundara, beautiful form. So, and that is what the advantage of chanting the name. But chanting the name could be many ways, we talked about it. One is you can write name Sai, 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 like called Likita Japam. Or you can say Sai, Sai verbally, Vachaka Japam. So you can do that also. Upamsu Japam, you will be telling, but people won't hear. Vachak Japam means Sai, Sai. Upamsu Japam means you move the lips, but you don't hear, but only that person knows. And then next is Manasika Japam. You will be sitting quietly looking at people talking. Some people talk nonsense. You look at them, but inside you go on thinking Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai, and you just shut out to those noise, outside disturbance. You didn't tune. That's Manasika Japam. But the highest, which go on doing this, then it could be a thing called Ajapa Japam. That means without your knowing, whether you are waking, dreaming, deep sleep, you are always thinking about God. Without your knowledge, it will be going on Sai Ram, because you thought about him all the time, eating, drinking, sleeping, every time, then becomes, that's the greatest example is Hanuman. That's why he said, when they said, just pluck my hair, listen, it says Rama, Rama, Rama. So you just so much absorbed in the divine name. So that is very, very important. That is why there is a beautiful story. I don't know, some of you might, a lot of you might know actually. There is a thing in the Lord's Krishna's time where he has Satyabhama. She is a wonderful devotee. Actually, there is a temple of Satyabhama in Puttaparthi. They constructed because Swami's grandfather had a dream to have a Satyabhama, a temple for her. They had it. She's a great devotee, but the only problem, she had ego. Oh, I am the great devotee. I want Krishna to myself. We all, even in devotion, we get possessive. I want only Swami to myself. Then that is a great, then God teaches you lesson. So what she had a plan. He had the other wonderful devotees and wives, Rukmini and others. She had a plan. I want only Krishna to me. Let me have a plan. And God want to teach her a lesson. She asks Narada, he says, ma'am, you do this particular ritual, then Krishna will be yours. So what you have to do is that I am right now buying him Krishna, I will give it back. Once we'll put him on a scale, and you have to put equal amount of gold, wealth, jewelry. Then if you can balance it, I will buy. She agrees. That's foolish, because who can weigh God? Because he is the source of the whole universe. So the whole thing is done. Then Lord Krishna sees on one side of the pan, and then the other side, because she has got so much gold, and actually she has a special thing which yields so tons of gold every day. It is a particular gift she has, Shamantaka. So just she goes on doing that, put out nothing, she still doesn't tip, and she goes on putting her own jewelry, everything, nothing happens. She was frustrated, my God, this Narada is going to take away my husband. Then she runs to the wonderful holy lady Rukmini. So she is very pure, and she is very sattvic bhakti. This lady is also bhakta, devotee, but she had rajasic. I want to God to myself. So she goes to Rukmini, and Rukmini, what is wrong thing you did? Who can buy God? So you cannot do that. But she goes there, and there's okay. Name and form are equal. If I just say the name Krishna, it will be just. But this man says, Narada, ma'am, that is not right. He is a form, he has a form. You need to put something, object with a name, that is okay. Then she takes a tulasi leaf and writing name of Lord Krishna, tulasi, she puts just a leaf and the whole thing balance cup. This is the two lessons says, name and form are no different, and name gives you the redemption. That is the power. That's why we have this gift of name of Sai, and so we should really remember that, and that will take us to the goal. So just, and then the last word is, whenever you have difficulty, says completely, says do the Sharanagati. That means when you should surrender to me. So because this name of Sai removes the ego, and once you surrender to me, I will take care of all your problems. That is the last word in spirituality. Is first is repeating the name, and last one is Sarvadhanman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Just leaving everything, just surrender to me. And then what will he do? He will give you Ahantva Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Masucha. I will give you moksha, liberation itself, and all your sins will be gone, all your grief is gone. What do you think? So just you surrender to him only, but we try to surrender to different people, different things, different jobs. But if you surrender to him, Ekam, he says, just surrender to me alone, then all our sins, grief, everything gone, and he will give bless. And the way for that is constant repetition of the Sai's name. So he says, once you have that, you will be Jivan Mukta. Hope you know the word means Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means liberated while alive. We think, I want to have liberation. After dying, you think. Jivan Mukta means you will be liberated while alive. Just go on repeating. He who has got Sai's name on his lips is a Jivan Mukta. Think like that itself is like mantra. Go. Whenever we have problem, if I go on repeating Sai's name on my lips, that means I'm a Jivan Mukta. So it is a constant practice. Sai, 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 then we'll have liberation. So, Sai Ram.